We are hearing from a Thomasville mother tonight after a court sentenced a daycare owner accused of abusing her 3-year-old son.
Chastity Small hopes her story will protect other children from ever going through the same nightmare. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake talked to the mom.
It was 3-year-old Luca's first day of daycare back in February. Chastity Small thought it would be the best day of his life until he came home with bruises.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, guys, welcome to the video. This is Justin Paul. So they were reporting on a Thomasville daycare owner being sentenced for abusing of a child. Man, this is dude, that's crazy, yo. Man, that child, ain't no telling how that child um what happened, dang, the child in B3, where, most children are not even really talking at 3 or kind of talking. And, you know, of course, they're able to walk and move around and stuff like that. But, they're not able to sit there and actually say, hey, this is what happened to me and stuff like that. Oh, man, that's crazy. I'm not even sure how these individuals was able to obtain the license to even care for children in the first place. It has to be a better vetting process, in order for people to obtain these licenses and stuff like that. And again, if you don't and another thing, if you don't have the patience to deal with children, then why even have a daycare? So if you don't have the awareness to deal with children, and why even have a daycare? It just makes no sense. Because let me just get a little bit more information.
And a bloody shirt.
No child should have to go through what my child went through, especially when we're putting these kids in your care. First day for him, like you didn't even know him.
Police later arrested the Kid City daycare owner Faye Burchett and 2 employees, Sheila Walker and Haley Dahlhover, who faced charges of obstruction of justice, child abuse, and assault on a child under 12.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. These aren't individuals who I would feel comfortable leaving my children in the care of. And it has nothing to do with anything other than their facial expressions. It has nothing other than do with, I mean, of course, they're not gonna have the best of faces in a mud shot or this and the third, but you know, um this is a situation where they're being locked up, so of course they're not happy about it. So it gives you a look at the faces that they make when they're not happy. None of the three have a pleasantness look about them at all. Nothing to where you feel calm and confident that they'll be able to handle multiple children at a daycare. And you know I mean, let's just be honest. The lady that's to my far left with the white hair, um, she looks like she like she's a no play type of person. And you know, like I said, doesn't look very very pleasant at all. Girl in the middle, I mean, she look like she's stoned right now, or high on something. Like, she just doesn't seem like she is all the way there. And not trying to judge books by their covers, but at the end of the day, I really don't care, when it comes to like abusing a child. And you got to go off what you see. People use stereotypes all the time. So she doesn't look all the way there. And then, the lady on the right is just, I mean, nothing really too heavy on her as far as lady on the right, but either she just went along with what was going on, or was the ringleader herself. It was one or the other. But I wouldn't really feel too comfortable leaving my because when you leave your child in the care of someone, you want to make sure that, of course, they, have a pleasant demeanor about themselves. They have to exude happiness in some sense because you're dealing with children, especially children who are going to be full of energy all over the place. Can't really talk. Some of them can't really talk like that. And children are going to get into things. So you have to have your awareness up. You have to have a lot of patience. And, you have to really be passionate about taking care of children. It can't just be just for the love of the money that you're going to get of taking care of a child. Because when something like this happens, as they're going to hold these individuals responsible, and it's good for the mother that the mother didn't just say, well, this is just one incident. It probably won't happen again, and not really, and just disregard seeing blood on their child's shirt or a busted lip. It's good that they actually went and said and did something about this, so that these individuals can be held responsible for the neglect of that child. And ain't no telling how many other children that were in their care have also went through the same type of abuse. So I'm gonna let the video continue.
Burchett was sentenced after a plea deal, child abuse, and a Burchett. And
Like, you didn't even know him.
police later arrested the Kid City daycare owner Faye Burchett and 2 employees, Sheila Walker and Haley Dahlhover, who faced charges of obstruction of justice, child abuse, and assault on a child under 12. Burchett was sentenced after a plea deal in October. She pleaded no contest to obstruction of justice and
Okay, so obstruction of justice, of course, that's preventing law enforcement from doing their job, more than likely lying and stuff like that. And that's a higher penalty than the misdemeanor of child abuse. That's a felony. Obstructing justice is a felony. So um, it's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Find yourself in this type of position. You open up a daycare. A lot of people just see dollar signs because they know child care is very expensive, so they can charge expensive rates. But again, if you don't have the wherewithal to deal with children, then why would you even have you a daycare? Why even put yourself in a position to where you're going to not care for someone's kids and this type of thing happens? It's just crazy to me.
misdemeanor child abuse, while the assault charge was dismissed as part of that deal. She received 6 to 17 months in custody and 30 months of supervised probation. She also can't have contact with minors.
I do find comfort in knowing that I've got both those facilities shut down and no child can be harmed ever again by these women. That's kind of the comfort I'm walking away with. Like, I hate that my child had to be a victim, but I can assure you he was the last victim at their facilities.
Small says while the sentencing brought some relief, it also highlighted gaps in child protection laws. She's determined to work with lawmakers to strengthen penalties for abuse.
The 2 other women that were charged have yet to be convicted or sentenced. They have their court hearings next year.
We are hearing from a Thomas.
I'm sorry. The 2 other women that were arrested, they get to prepare their defense all the way into next year. But the person that was convicted, they're going to receive 6 to 17 months in prison or jail, whatever. 30 months of probation, and they cannot have any contact with minors, which they shouldn't. And they should never be able to practice or have a daycare ever again in life. And good for this mother for not being quiet, not sitting on her hands and saying something unless she said, she got those 2 locations shut down to where no other child could ever be abused in this situation again. And there are gaps within penalties for people who violate this type of thing. And hopefully she steadfast and stays advocating to get harsher penalties and those that this lady received, because you know, you put your trust and you put your finances towards, you know, if you're a working parent, um, you know, someone having to care for your child, and when you find out they're not really doing that, they're abusing the child, and that's very serious. But I'm gonna go ahead and close this video out. Again, if you like my content, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.